This is a story about the time I was on a train and somebody asked me for the food that I was eating. So before I get into my story, I say let me show you all a quick view of the train as I'm heading across the country. And this is basically what one of the long distance trains look like. I was lucky because the train cart was empty, so you could really see the beauty. So I'm on the train. This is a long distance train. I'm heading to visit a friend. And as I got on the train, it reminded me of the time that I was on a train and somebody basically asked me for the food that I was eating. Now, the year had to be 2019 or 2020. And I'm sitting right here. And I was eating shawarma, which is basically a gyro from Trinidad. And I put lots of pepper in it because sometimes they tend to be tasteless. No offense to the people who like tasteless food, but I don't. But the pepper is usually top notch. So not usually, that's a lie. That place looked like they had the pepper. I never bought it from there before, so I'm like, let me lace it with pepper. And the shawarma was so good. Like, it was really good, but it was huge. Like, I wouldn't lie, like it was probably like about this long. So I ate like half, and I said, okay, I'll eat half later because it was so big. It was so packed with meat and everything. Anyway, so I'm sitting down here, and I had it wrapped up. Of course, it's gonna stink up the whole train car because it smells good. So there was a guy sitting behind me, but I wasn't paying him no mind because I mean he's sitting behind me. I'm minding my own business. And I have on my headphones. I'm reading on my Kindle. Like, I usually like to completely disappear from this environment because I don't like to hear people talking on the phone and all these things. Anyway, so I'm sitting here, and you ever just feel a presence? I felt a presence like behind me, like kind of hovering over me, but I didn't take it on because I'm in my novel. I'm just reading, occasionally just looking up at the sides, whatever. So then I feel somebody tap me on my shoulder, and I'm like, I put on my headphones and I turn around. I'm like, hi. And the person, he's like, and I was just like, what do you want from me? And then he points to the shawarma on my table in front of me. He's like, and I was like, okay, I'm like, maybe this man is starving, and for whatever reason, maybe he couldn't get something to eat. I don't know. I'm like, okay, I have extra. I was planning to eat it later, and it's real good. So I asked if he spoke English or German. He didn't speak any. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to tell him that this thing is laced with pepper. If you don't like pepper, you're probably going to die. But at this point, I guess if you're starving, like, death doesn't seem so bad. Buy pepper. So I give it to him. And I'm not going to lie to you. Minutes later, he pops up again and he points to my water bottle. I'm like, listen, and if I had bought a water, if I purchased the water and it was like a disposable bottle, I would have given it to him. But it was actually my water bottle, so I'm not going to give it to this complete stranger whom I don't know from Jack to drink from my water bottle. And it's also Corona, like, you just ate my meal. Now you also want me to give you water. I'm like, I'm sorry, no. You know, and then later on, I came to realize that actually he's a refugee and he didn't have a ticket. So when the ticket guy came by, he didn't have a ticket, and he's looking at me. I'm like, I can't help you. Like, I have my ticket, but I'm not getting too much into that. But that was the time that I was on a train, just like I am today, and I gave somebody my food. Strange. Yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more from me, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.